YouTube was shaking, man. Was shaking, man. It's your boy Ink in the Brain, man. Matter of fact, hey, man. Say, man. It's your boy Ink in the Brain, man. And we are back at Like a Bad Habit. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Been a minute since I made a video, everything, but I'm still here, man. I'm still here. I just been in the cut. But I wanted to speak on the Tory Lanez situation, man. You feel me? Because I spoke on his situation before on my channel. And I'm just kind of keeping up with him, seeing how he's doing in there, man. Because to do a 10-year stretch in the California Department of Corrections, I already know it's no small feat. You know what I'm saying? And me doing my little 2 years that I've done out here in Arizona taught me a lot about the prison system and how things work, how the politics work, and things like that. Because for the most part, if you're on the West Coast, you're doing on time on the West Coast, the politics are pretty much the same, right? It's a little bit more gangbanging out there in Cali. Well, a lot more gangbanging out there in Cali, so it's different in that aspect. But on the West Coast, you know, things are very similar. But yeah, so in case you ain't heard, Tory Lanez, he got stabbed 14 times yesterday on Tehachapi, right? Now I heard about Tehachapi. There was actually a popular YouTuber by the name of Savage Studios who was an ex-Southsider, and he did like 10, 11 years, and he was on Tehachapi. That's how I first heard about Tehachapi. But yeah, so he out there in Tehachapi, I mean, and he got punched up. So we're gonna speak about it. I'm gonna touch on a couple of things, kind of give y'all my opinion on my input. So yeah, so like from what I've been hearing, you know, just for like the past like few months, like Tory, you know, he been doing his thing in there. You know, you see a couple clips of him recording music on the phone. You know, he dropped the album from prison, right? So, and I heard an interview he had with Aiden Ross. You feel me? So everything that I've heard from Tory, you know, he's in real high spirits, man. He's doing well behind there. You know, as good as you can be. You know, nobody want to do 10 years in the joint. You feel me? But he's doing as well as you can be for somebody in his situation and of his stature, right? And I heard he got action on appeal too, because they, you know, it does seem shady, like his DNA wasn't on the gun, you know what I'm saying, things like that. So it seems like he got a solid action to coming home on appeal. But nonetheless, you know, appeals take time, so you gonna have to walk your time down and do your thing until that time comes. But see, the cold part about prison, y'all, is I don't care if you got 60 days, 6 months, 2 years, like I did, you know what I mean, 5 years, 25 years. You're not guaranteed to come home. Like, nobody's guaranteed to come home from prison. There's been plenty of stories of people doing short time and not making it home to their families because they fell into some, or they got smashed out, or maybe they got into a fight and fell wrong and hit their head and they died. Stuff like that happens a lot. So you're not guaranteed to come home from doing any time in prison. So any time you can walk your time down, come home is a blessing. You know what I mean? But yeah, so you know, so Tory, you know, he doing his thing, dropping music, and I already know how prison works. And I knew going in there, like Tory was gonna be good with the blacks, with his kind, right, with kinfolk, because that's just how it is. Like in the pen, you gonna run with your people. Well, on the West Coast, you know, I know down south is different. It's a little bit more of a free for all down there, but on the West Coast, you gonna rock with your people. And with him having a name and a face, you know what I'm saying, and he's a you know, millionaire music artist, shit like that. I already knew ain't nobody gonna touch him, like as far as the blacks go. You feel me? Because there's no need to. You're only gonna get stabbed, really, or get smashed out by your own people if you do some out of pocket shit. You feel me? If you in there for bad charges, you're doing things you're not supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? You're stealing. You're rounding up debts. You know, maybe you're getting high. You're not supposed to do things like that, right? You're messing with them. You're messing with them boys in there. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like that. You know, those are things that'll get you taken off the yard, right? But yeah, when I heard last night that he got pulled up, I knew something was off. I was like, damn. I'm like, man, I knew it wasn't no blacks though. But yeah, man, kind of find out a Mexican dude had poked him up, right? So shout out to Spider Lope. He dropped a Spiral Love, he got his own YouTube channel, and he got one of his partners, I guess, doing time on the same yard Tory on. So he hopped on the horn and he give him the rundown and pretty much said, yeah, like basically Tory got caught slipping at 7 a.m. I mean, he said he was on a tier, like he was the only black on the tier, I guess, at the time, and Mexican dude caught him slipping, poked him up. Now, I thought that Tehachapi was a GP yard. Turns out it's an SNY yard, or maybe they have a GP yard on one section, because I think it's A yard and B yard over there. So maybe A yard is SNY and B yard is GP. And SNY yard basically means special needs yard. It's basically a term in prison where it's like PC, but it's not really PC. It just means that like you got gang dropouts over there, people who don't really want to deal with the gang politics, things like that. They might hang their flag up and go over there, or maybe somebody who got stabbed or got beat up real bad, and they don't want to return to the same yard, and they pretty much check in and go to SNY. You feel me? So yeah, because I always heard he was walking the main line. You feel me? But apparently he on the SNY. But that really doesn't mean nothing, honestly. Like Tory don't really lose no points for that because he's not no gang member anyway. I mean, shit, he's from Canada. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Canada, but he's from Canada. He a rapper, so he don't lose no points for that, really. And he in there programming. He, I've seen him taking pictures. He on the yard. He working out. He getting his he getting his money on the yard. You feel me? Working out all the time, and shit. But yeah, apparently he got caught slipping. Now I don't know what he was thinking, because I would think he would at least have Usalama with him. You know what I'm saying? Usalama in prison basically is a term that the blacks use for security. I mean, it's Swahili for security. So I'm surprised he didn't have Usalama with him, because usually somebody on that of his stature, when you move around like that, like you're gonna have at least one person with you just to kind of look after you. Feel me? Like typically that's how it goes if you high status, right? You're gonna have some kind of lookout for you, right? But maybe he just in there doing his thing and he rocking and he wasn't worried about it and he thought shit was sweet. You can't never get caught off your guard in prison, bro. I don't care who you are, how much time you got. Like I said, you could be doing 2 weeks. And you better act like you're doing 20 years. You never know what can happen, man. Plenty of situations where people got stabbed up, poked up, knocked out and landed wrong and hit their head, died. Like nobody's guaranteed to come home. Shit, you saw what happened to Money Sign Sway. RP Money Sign Sway, he was a Latino rapper from California. He went down for like a pistol case. Only had to do like 2 years. He ended up getting stabbed up in the shower and he died in there. So same thing that happened to Tory. The Tory, by the grace of God, it seems like he's gonna pull through, but he got stabbed up 14 times in his back, his sides, and he's got cut in his face and his head and all kind of shit. You feel me? So yeah, man, they try to get on him out of there, but I'm gonna leave y'all with this, man. One thing's for sure, two things for certain, man. You don't want to be on Tehachapi right now if you're black. If you're a short timer and you're black, you don't want to be on Tehachapi right now, because what's gonna happen is the blacks gonna have to retaliate because of that. Which means that, because they're on lockdown right now, but as soon as them doors crack, it's gonna go right back up. Now the Mexicans already know this, the blacks know this, but the blacks gonna crack it off and it's gonna go up. And it can turn real ugly real fast. We talking about knife play, you feel me? We ain't talking about, it's one thing where you was talking about hands, right? But once that skill gets involved, that's a whole nother issue. And to be real, man, that was my number one. I wasn't scared to do time, honestly. I prepared myself. I was like fully prepared. I only had 2 years to do, so that kind of made it easier, I ain't gonna lie. But I wasn't scared at all. I was just ready to get it over with. I figured, like, man, if I gotta catch a couple fades, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe you get beat up, you're gonna heal from that if worse comes to worse, right? But I did not want to get stabbed. I didn't want to be playing with no knives, and I didn't want to get involved in no riot. Because when them riots pop off, bro, it's all hell breaks loose. And some riots can last for 30 minutes. Some riots can last for an hour. It just depends. But it's just crazy. Like, if you ever been this, if you ever scrapped before, you already know 20, 30 seconds, you're going to lose your win. So imagine being a riot with hundreds of people, knives are involved, people got locks and socks, trying to go upside your head with locks and socks and shit, trying to poke you up. Man, it ain't nothing nice, man. It ain't nothing nice. It ain't nothing you want to go through. You know what I mean? But yeah, but as soon as them gates crack, it's going up on Tehachapi, man. So, you know, if you got anybody doing time in California, man, check on them, man, especially there at Tehachapi, because I have a feeling that this could turn into something way more than what it really needs to be. I'm not saying I'm just saying, you feel me? It could, situations like this where Tory, since he's such high status, this could spill on the other yards. Like, especially when the gates crack and the blacks get off on the Mexicans and they body a few of them. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, that could spread to other yards, and then it's like a back and forth thing. So, yeah, man, that you don't want to be doing time, period, especially in California, period. But right now, it's not a good time to be doing no time in Cali, man. And they just had a race right between the blacks and the Mexicans at Tehachapi like 3 weeks ago, from what Brett said on the horn. So yeah, man. But in closing, you know, blessings to Tory, man. I hope he actually get out, because it really sounds like he's innocent for real. From what I'm hearing, you know what I mean? You don't have no DNA on a gun and all this shit. It's kind of like, that's enough reasonable doubt right there for him to get out, in my opinion. But yeah, you know, hopefully he'll heal up and everything like that. They gonna ask him if he wants to go back to the yard. Now, if you hear that he goes back to Tehachapi, that says a lot. That says a lot about Tory Lanez's character and his heart, for real. Because I'll tell you one thing, bro. He could choose to go to another prison. He could easily say, you know what I mean, go to another prison. Maybe they transfer him to some soft, puny-ass yard. But he got a violent case, so I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he's on a 4. I looked it up. I think Tehachapi houses level 3 and 4. I have a feeling he might be on a 4-yard, though. Because usually, if you got 10 years and you're in a violent case, they start you off at a 4. They're not going to start you off medium. They're going to start you off at high. So he probably at 4-yard points. Because he ain't going to drop down to a 3 for a minute, because he ain't been down for that long. You know what I mean? But yeah, kids, stay out of school, stay out of trouble. Like I said, my worst fear is getting to a riot, because you have no choice but to pop off. So you can only go down, you might go down for 2 years or 3-4 years, right? And you might be on your last 6 months, and then a riot pops off and you have no choice but to jump in, and you might have to defend yourself. You might have to take a knife and put some steel in something. And if that person passes away, now you hit with another 10, and now your little 2 to 5 years turns into, let me add on another 10 to that. You feel me? 12 to 15 years, all because of some dumb shit, all because of prison politics that you ain't had nothing to do with, but because your race was involved, you got to jump into it. So now you involved just off of that, just off the strength, man. But yeah, man, just want to touch on that real quick. Hold your head, Tory. You definitely walking your time down like a G. I ain't gonna lie. I've seen a few videos of you really seem like you're in good spirits, because walking down 10 years ain't no joke. You know, he ain't gonna do the whole 10. I think in California, if you're on a violent case like that, I think you either do like 66% or 85% or something like that. So he still got a little stretch to do, but he gonna be all right. But he better learn how to move a little bit smarter though, and don't get so comfortable. Because, you know, I tell you what, on the GP yards, a Mexican really can't crack off on a black like that. There's structure. Oh, this I forgot to touch on real quick, right? You have people out there saying, you know, different YouTubers out there saying, oh, I don't know why Tory Lanez didn't just go PC up, man, or why don't he just choose to go on a PC yard or go to the hole and do his time in the hole. And it's like, man, hell no. You don't want to be on no PC yard like that, bro. Like I said, I mean, it seems like you're on an SNY yard, but the thing is people got a misconception about PCRs, SNY yards, and shit like that. Like, you're really better off on a GP yard, because in general population, there's way more structure. You can't just move on anybody if you want to move. There's rules and regulations that you're going to abide by. And if you don't, they're just going to smash you off the yard and get you out of here. They might just kill you. That, like, real talk. But if you good and you just a regular person and you're not into the bullshit, you mind your business, you way more good on a GP yard than you are on a PC. Because on a PC yard, there is no structure. So if somebody decide to pop on you for no reason, they could do that. If a Mexican want to pop off on a black, they can do that. They don't have to report to nobody. They don't have to ask nobody for permission to do shit. So you're under way more pressure. Not more pressure, but I'll put it like this. It's just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, on an SNYR than it is a GP because there is no structure. So for y'all thinking that it's just sweet on the SNYR, it's not. People get stabbed. Look it up. There's been plenty of murders in the SNYRs this year. Plenty of murders. It's damn near becoming it's a real issue. It's been a lot of people dying on the SNYRs, man. So yeah, you don't want to be on no SNYR, bro. You don't want to be in the SNYR. At least the GP is way more structured, man. You know what I mean? Them game members, you got gang dropouts, dropping out of the game, you know what I mean, throwing away their flag, and then joining PC gangs, which are just straight renegade gangs. They don't got no rules, really. Like, they just run wild and do what they want. So I just want to touch on that before I close out. But yeah, you don't want to be on no PCR, trust me. And you definitely don't want to be in the hole doing time by yourself in isolation for your time, just to dodge people. Like, I'm just saying, I mean, I ain't the toughest person. You might be watching this, you're just a regular person, but you don't really have no reason to be scared of other people if you're in no bullshit, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have your people who be on bullshit in there, but for the most part, like on GPRs, bro, ain't nobody respecting no bullies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really gotta worry about shit like that. It's structure to it. Especially if you're on a 3 yard and up, there's structure to it. Now, them low level yards is a little bit different. That's a conversation for another day. But yeah, man. I'll get at y'all on that, so man, y'all be smooth beside and stay out of trouble. Free Tory too, fuck it.